Before 2003, Ford trucks with the 4.6-liter and 5.4-liter V8 engines routinely reached 300,000, some 400,000 miles on original engines. After 2003, those same platforms began failing before 200,000 miles. That collapse traces to a single part Ford quietly deleted, a vacuum-referenced fuel pressure regulator worth $12. They removed it to save $180 per truck, and the chain reaction it triggered goes far deeper than a simple fuel system redesign. On one side of the line, there is a 2002 F-150 with 384,000 miles on the odometer, still running the original engine. The logbook from a municipal fleet in Ohio lists oil changes, brake pads, and a transmission swap at 220,000 and nothing more serious. Across the shop, a 2005 F-150 sits torn down at just 176,000 miles. The teardown notes read like a warning: scored cylinder walls, coked injector tips, and a cam phaser so worn it rattled on startup. The owner's maintenance records show nothing out of the ordinary: oil changes every 5,000 miles, fuel filter replaced at 80,000. Just like the manual said, this is not an isolated story. Fleet records and owner forums from across the country tell the same tale. Trucks built before 2003, especially those with the 4.6 and 5.4 V8 engines, routinely reach 300,000, sometimes 400,000 miles before a rebuild. After 2003, the median failure point plummets to around 170,000 miles. Police fleets that once retired trucks for rust now pull them from service for engine failure. Rental agencies that used to auction F-150s with 250,000 miles now face major repairs at half that distance. Warranty data backs it up. NHTSA aggregates show a 42% jump in paid engine claims for trucks from 2003 to 2005, with the average claim happening at 158,000 miles, compared to 282,000 for the earlier models. Ford's own warranty cost analysis for the 2004 to 2008 F-Series lists $380 million in engine-related payouts, nearly double the figure from just a few years prior. The numbers make it clear. A change in the early 2000s did not just shave a few miles off these engines, it carved out an entire lifetime of service. The question is, how could one small part trigger such a collapse in durability? Ford's decision in 2003 came down to a part no bigger than a thumb joint, the vacuum-referenced fuel pressure regulator, called the VRFPR. For years, this tiny device sat on the fuel rail of every 4.6 and 5.4 truck engine. Its job simple but essential: hold fuel pressure, steady no matter the throttle or altitude. The regulator itself cost Ford between $12 and $18 per truck, depending on the supplier. In official parts catalogs, it appears as Motorcraft CM4646, with Delphi and Bosch listed as alternate sources. Bulk pricing memos from 2002 confirm the figure, $12.47 per unit, when ordered by the 100,000. But in the early 2000s, Ford's cost engineering teams were under pressure to squeeze every dollar out of the F-Series build. An internal cost reduction document, referenced in a 2005 engineering briefing, shows the math: eliminate the VRFPR, drop the return line, and simplify the fuel rail. The total claimed saving was $180 per truck, with the regulator's removal accounting for about $12 of that. Multiply that by nearly 800,000 trucks a year, and the savings ballooned to over $9 million annually just on the regulator, with $140 million more from assembly line and part simplification. The scale of savings was hard to ignore. The VRFPR's disappearance is right there in the 2003 parts diagrams. Gone from the rail, its vacuum hose and mounting bolts deleted from the bill of materials. In its place, a new electric pump in the tank and an electronic control module, all justified by a few lines on a spreadsheet. What exactly did Ford give up for those dollars? The answer lies in the mechanical consequences that followed. Pressure trace graphs from independent bench tests show the difference in stark terms. On a pre-2003 F-150, the mechanical regulator keeps rail pressure within a narrow band. Idle to wide-open throttle, the needle barely wavers. Post-2003, the returnless system's electronic pump delivers a jagged line, pressure spikes with every throttle transition, and at altitude the system chases its target with visible lag. Flow bench data from 2022 reveals that these pressure swings translate directly into injector behavior. When rail pressure jumps beyond 0.15 bar, the injector tip runs hotter and accumulates carbon nearly 40% faster than under steady conditions. Photos from teardown shops show the result. Pre-2003 injectors, after 200,000 miles, display only faint discoloration. 2004 units, at half that mileage, are coated in black, crusted deposits. The consequences compound. Coked injectors spray unevenly, sending wet, unatomized fuel onto cylinder walls. Oil analysis from Fleet, maintained 2005 trucks, reveals fuel dilution levels of 1% or more, double the safe threshold. This washes away the protective oil film, leading to ring and bore wear that shows up as scoring in teardown photos and rising oil consumption in service logs. A veteran mechanic from a Texas municipal fleet puts it bluntly: you could pull the heads on an old 4.6 at 300,000 and still see crosshatch. On the newer ones, you are lucky if the walls are not mirror smooth by 150,000. Every step in this chain is documented. Pressure instability breeds injector coking. Coking leads to uneven spray and fuel wash. Fuel wash thins the oil, and thinned oil accelerates internal wear. The $12 part Ford deleted was not just a line on a spreadsheet. It was the first link in a chain reaction that cut engine life in half. Cam phaser failures became the new normal for trucks after 2003, especially on the 5.4 Triton. Typical repair invoices from 2005 to 2008 show owners paying between $1,500 and $3,000 for cam phaser replacement. That figure covers not just parts and labor, but also extra steps such as oil system flushes, new timing chains, and sometimes a full set of solenoids. The bills were anything but minor. At the root of the problem was oil contamination from fuel dilution. Oil analysis reports from fleet trucks revealed fuel content at or above 1%, well beyond the 0.4% limit, where cam phaser wear accelerates. Once contaminated, the oil cannot maintain the hydraulic pressure needed for precise cam timing. The result is a phaser that rattles at startup, loses timing authority, and eventually triggers a check engine light. Fleet maintenance managers track the fallout. Warranty claims for cam phaser and variable valve timing repairs doubled after 2004, with downtime stretching from a single day to over a week per truck. For commercial operators, every failed phaser meant a truck sidelined, a job missed, and costs that dwarfed the original $12 part Ford had cut from the system. A single spark plug can turn a truck from a workhorse into a stranded asset. On the 5.4 Triton from 2004 to 2008, stripped threads and plug ejection became a familiar headline. The root cause traces back to a combination of soft aluminum heads, a shallow two-thread design, and the relentless cycle of fuel wash and heat spikes, conditions amplified by inconsistent fuel pressure and coked injectors. The repair is not just a nuisance. When a plug lets go, the cost hits hard. $80 to $200 per cylinder for a thread insert kit and machine work, multiplied across banks of eights. Invoices from independent shops and fleet operators stack up, some owners shelling out over $1,000 just to keep their trucks firing on all cylinders. The scale is impossible to ignore. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration logged more than 1,200 complaints about plug ejection and thread failures in these engines. By 2010, class action lawsuits had been filed, with plaintiffs pointing to engineering memos and warranty data showing Ford knew about the defect. Legal filings reference invoice packets, dealer repair logs, and technical service bulletins that document the pattern. A $12 part was deleted, and a repair epidemic swept through the owner base. For many, it was not just a mechanical failure. It was a breach of trust and a bill they never expected to pay. An $8 inline fuel filter once sat in the open, swapped out in 20 minutes with a socket and a drain pan. After 2003, Ford buried the filter inside the tank, turning a routine job into a $100 plus dealer service. The new in-tank cartridge cost between $80 and $150 just for the part, 10 times the old price. For many owners, the labor to drop the tank doubled the bill, so most skipped filter changes entirely. That decision left injectors exposed to grit, accelerating coking and wear. Independent mechanics saw the fallout. Trucks that once ran 500,000 miles now came in with injector failures and cam phaser rattles before 200,000 miles. Retrofit kits began appearing. They are bolt-on fuel pressure regulators that restore the vacuum reference Ford deleted. Most kits cost between $45 and $80. Installation takes an afternoon, and no special tools are required. Owners who added the regulator and kept up with injector cleaning every 30,000 miles reported smoother idle, reduced oil dilution, and far fewer cam phaser and spark plug issues. The fix is not magic, but it gives trucks made after 2003 a fighting chance at the kind of mileage their predecessors delivered. Mechanics urge anyone running a returnless system to share their results. Real-world data is still thin, and every logbook entry helps build the case. Today, Ford's $12 shortcut echoes in every injector coked and in every cam phaser that rattles before 200,000 miles. The true cost was not just repair bills. It is the trust lost when a tiny line item erases decades of durability. For owners, the lesson is mechanical. Shortcuts rarely stay hidden. Your thoughts below.